Hey, YouTubers, Dirty Day here.
Sorry about that, wrong video. Dirty Day, what's up, YouTubers? It's been a while. I've had some time to think about some things, and so that's why I'm back. This video is actually a remake of two previous videos that was one video that was so long it turned it into. I'm basically just going to do a whole recap on that. I renamed that video the Big Ugly Terrible Video because I hate it. I've watched it 1,000 times and there's just no fixing it. And like for me, this is kind of my art, you know. I do videos, I put them online. So why destroy that? But those videos are gone. No, they were actually just really terrible. It dragged on. It didn't have any good points. It was really hot and heavy on the conspiracy stuff. And it was offensive. I found a lot of the shit that I said offensive. So we're going to do it right this time. Look, I even have notes. Okay, that's a blank piece of paper, but I have notes on the screen. So, moving forward, let's do this. So what is I Drank the Punch about? That was the name of the video. Was me trying to explain how Dirty Day went from slightly comedic videos that weren't that funny to, like I said, hot and heavy, kind of conspiracy theory thing.
Crazy.
And so, how did that happen? Well, I became an activist. That's pretty much the cut dry of it. But in order to understand that, still wearing a terrorist outfit. Let's go back into who I am. Well, growing up, my parents taught me to be a very critical thinker, to be leery of things, and you know, don't just trust right off the bat, especially like things like television and government and friends. Yeah, good life lessons. You have those friends. So I ended up sitting here today, basically because of this guy who made this documentary. I was sitting on the couch watching Netflix, and a documentary came up, so I said, why not? I watched it. It was like 2.5 hours, and it got pretty deep and intense. And by the end of it, I was pretty much freaking out. And it's funny, the guy who made it, Peter Joseph, said that the video itself was kind of his freak out about what I'm about to explain. Or try to. We're looking at things like the media and government and religion and you know, every aspect. It's all around us. You know, it's the Matrix. We're in the Matrix. We're looking at things like why are there poor? Why is there money? Period. And we're the only species on the planet that pays to live here. You know, why do we have hungry people, homeless, living in the streets? Why do we have sick people? Why do you get turned down from being treated when you're sick when someone else gets treated? You know, like what puts people on the scale from 1 to 10? You know, why do we go to war? You know, and why do we spend all of our money on war instead of fixing problems here? We spend trillions of dollars on tanks and guns and bombs and blah blah blah. You know, trillions of dollars. We could make 1 trillion houses for that, you know, and fix our homeless problem and put money into banks and all sorts of things, you know, contacts. So I mean, when you take a look at the world today and you see these things, and I mean, to any person, these things don't make any sense. It's just not right. You know, why is the world like this today? And you know, how do we fix it? That's the big question. How do we fix it? You know, we have poor education, and when we get poor test scores, they just lower the bar so that, you know, it's good enough. And it's like, why are you keeping us dumb? Why don't you come up with a better education system, you know? I mean, just blatantly obvious things right in front of our face all the time. Every time you turn the corner, everyone you know, you yourself, know these problems exist, you know? And yet, somehow, we're sucked into this daily life where we just accept it and we just continue on dealing with these things. And it's bullshit. And there's a shit ton of us that are fucking sick of it, and we're not going to put up with it anymore. That's the bottom line. So if it's not you and it's not me making these things happen, then who is? It's the rich people. What makes this world go round? Money. Money, 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 money. And, whatever you want to call them, the top 1%, or, the Illuminati, ooh, or, the New World Order, I don't care what you call them. It is that top 1% that has the 40% of money on this planet. 3% of our money is printed. The rest of it's just an idea on a computer. It's just numbers on a computer. Money doesn't exist. It's not based on gold. It's not based on anything. It's based on imaginary shit. The private banks, we borrow money from the private banks with debt. How do you pay that back? I have no money, so you're going to give me money, and I have to pay this back to you bigger. And there's no profit. We're not making profit. We send our jobs across seas. We don't make money in America. Rich people make money in America, and that's why they send it overseas. Why is he going to pay you $8 an hour to make a Nike shoe when he can pay that dude 3 cents an hour, or a week even? It's disgusting. And so we all just sit here and put up with it. And why? Why do we put up with it? Because this is the only reality we've known. Since we were born, this is how things are, how they've been. So just accept it, deal with it. Why? You only have one chance at this life, and you're going to live it through other people's rules? Okay, here's a reason why. Because they rule by fear. They will put your ass in jail, or prison, or kill you, or take your children, or take your driver's license, which eventually usually takes your job. And then you're in the streets. With the homeless people that we know we're not going to take care of, it's fear. I mean, it's driven by fear. And like I said, we're sick of it. So what I'm doing affects you just as much as it affects me. So I would encourage you to listen. Just listen. I mean, just take a little bit of time out of your life and try and be open-minded. Try not to think that these are just a bunch of crazy kooks. The most general concept that I've gotten from people, or just researching what I've seen, what people say, is that we're utopianists. We're just trying to invent the perfect world, and it's like it's not a utopia. Nobody said that a lot of our ideas for the future, for the way things should be, is perfect. That's an illusion. There is no such thing as perfection. And things always change. So, I mean, once you've got them straight, there's another factor coming in, and you have to rearrange things again. There is no perfect. It's just slurs, man. Just throwing shit at us to keep you people in the dark about what's really going on. Why do you wait 30 years for the FBI or the CIA or the government to declassify files? And then tell you all this horrible shit they used to do, but, no, we don't do that anymore. 30 years from now, they're going to release that shit again and tell you what they're doing to you right now. But by then, it might be too late. So there's a little bit of common sense, a little bit of obviousness, and hopefully it sparked a little bit of interest in you. That's all I want to do, is wake people up and get the fucking ball moving on fixing this shit. They breed hate through television and through labeling people. Anytime you put a label on yourself, whether it's a religious label or a physical label, you're just separating yourself from the rest of mankind. We're all the same. We're all flesh and blood, and when you look at someone, Americans, I'm talking about Americans, I can't speak for the rest of the world, instantly you're judging them. Oh, that guy's fat, or stupid, or blah, 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 on and on and on. All day long we're just judging people instead of just accepting them for who they are, because, there's no reason that they wouldn't accept you for who you are. So, that's about it. Hopefully I managed to wrap this up in 8 minutes, 9 minutes, instead of a half hour of rambling. Hopefully it makes a little bit of sense. So, I mean, that's what's going on with me. That's what I'm interested in, making the world a better place for you and for me. And I encourage you to join me in this battle against ridiculousness. These are all things that we have done to ourselves. We allowed these people to take control. We've given them the power. We've said, yeah, sure, money is a great concept. Money is ridiculous. It's stupid. We have way too much technology today to be paying for shit. I mean, we have all the resources we need to live free lives, and we don't. And that makes no sense. So, I'm going to roll the credits here in a second. In the credits, I'm just going to put a bunch of shit. I want you to pick one thing out of there and just take a look at it, man. There'll be some comedians, some documentaries, and just, the internet is a huge tool. There's that group Anonymous, and they fight to end censorship on the internet, to have the internet totally free. And a lot of it, they just put a lot of offensive shit up there, but that's them really trying to get the message through, that you're not going to stop us. This free flow of information. You're not going to stop us from networking and connecting, and rising up against your rich, bloodthirsty asses. So, I mean, that's what they're about. And, there's all sorts of groups like that, Occupy and the Zeitgeist Movement, and so please, just for you and for me and for our children and generations to come, show some kind of interest in this world, in this country, in your own life. Don't be a slave. Go to that slave job to earn that slave money. I mean, we have to do that now. But let's fix this. Would Jack Fresco say, "This shit's gotta stop"?
The more you begin to investigate what we think we understand, where we came from, what we think we're doing, the more you begin to see we've been lied to. We've been lied to by every institution. What makes you think for 1 minute that the religious institution is the only one that's never been touched? The religious institutions of this world are at the bottom of the dirt. The religious institutions in this world are put there by the same people who gave you your government, your corrupt education, who set up your international banking cartels. We have been misled away from the true and divine presence in the universe that men have called God. I don't know what God is, but I know what He isn't. And unless and until you are prepared to look at the whole truth, wherever it may go, whoever it may lead to, the more you educate yourself, the more you understand where things come from, the more obvious things become, and you begin to see lies everywhere. You have to know the truth and seek the truth, and the truth will set you free.